it's great that you had someone to go back to help give you that reassurance that the decision that you made was right. That's kind of the drawback to being young and naive, is that, like Olivia mentioned, a lot of these girls who are getting into the sex industry, whether it be porn or prostitution or even just, posting nudes online and doing OnlyFans, is that, like she mentioned, they come from homes that are not necessarily broken, but just don't have guidance, or there's abuse going on, or there's chaos inside of the home. I know for me, a lot of people always ask me, oh, you did porn, you must have been raped growing up, or you must have had sexual abuse. It wasn't like that at all for me, personally. I don't know if this is what caused it, but I've shared this before on the podcast that growing up, my parents were divorced. My sister has severe schizophrenia. And I think where I first started idealizing porn stars and girls like Anna Nicole Smith and Playboy was when my sister was going through her schizophrenic episodes. There was her cutting herself in front of me. One time I came home from school and she had hung herself, and I had to cut her down from our swing set when I was in elementary school. And I remember going through those experiences, and one time I found online the girls next door of Playboy, and I just was like, wow, their life looks so amazing. And
Just
you
simple.
can just hit up like this old man and he'll fly you out to LA. I could get away from all of this and my life would be so incredible like theirs. They have all this cute clothes. They're beautiful. And so I remember just wanting to escape from the situation that I had going on at home. And I would just hide in a closet or in my room and watch that and just fantasize about being 18 and going and doing that. But the danger in it is of the sex industry and porn being glamorized is that young girls like me are going to see all the positives and they're not going to see the negatives. And this is where it really shows how naive I was, because when I first got into porn, I had no idea that I was going to have to suck dick or have sex, which sounds so weird because you know that you're going to suck dick or have sex, but it didn't register, it didn't process. I really didn't think about the acts that I was going to have to do to become a
Well, you
porn
didn't think
star.
of consequences either because you just thought of the glamour of it, like you said.
Yeah, it was all glamorized in my head. It was all, oh, I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. But it was never, I have to do this to get there. And I think it's hard for the young mind to see that. And then there's also the issue of being young and naive and not knowing how to say no in certain situations. And luckily you, speaking back on your experiences, you clearly were raised right, or had the confidence to say no, and you had someone to go back on to help reassure you that you made the right decisions.
Yeah, because as well as you, I grew up watching Girls Next Door. I love Playboy. Growing up my whole life, I was like, I want to be a Playboy model. I want to do this. I was obsessed with it, just like you. I was in Indiana and sitting there bored, nothing going on, and I would watch these hot girls on TV, like the blonde, beautiful, the mansion, a pool, party, whatever they wanted. And I was so obsessed. That's all I said to everyone every day. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be in Playboy. But the older that I got, and my dad actually lived in Vegas, and we would travel out here, and I got more experience like in their life and in their world, and I got to see how it was.
Yeah.
So luckily for me, I did get to see kind of like both sides in a way that kept me from, before I turned 18, I was like, I actually don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. And what deterred you from those situations where you wanted to get a modeling job and it was told to you, oh, if you sleep with someone or you do this sexual act, you'll be more likely to obtain it? What deterred you from giving into those situations?